very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the Frandell Stewart administration is renewing its commitment to the country's students at the tertiary level, but it will not commit to paying it in full. Speaking at a meeting of the St. Michael constituencies, Mr. Stewart said while primary and secondary education remain compulsory, tertiary education is not. And despite opposition leader Mia Mottley's promise to restore free tertiary education if elected in the next general election, the Prime Minister is defending the DLP's position.
If going to any tertiary institution was compulsory, everybody in Barbados would have some kind of certification from a tertiary institution. Of course, even that nowadays you can't trust, because there are people who say they went to tertiary institutions and you can't produce nothing. So even that you can't trust now. But as long as you opt to go to a tertiary institution, whether it be the university, the community college, the Samuel Jackman Prescott, or the Hospitality Institute, the government makes itself responsible for 80 cents out of every dollar you have to pay, and asks you to pay just 20 cents for your tertiary education.
Well, Prime Minister Stewart says given the poor state of the global and local economy, he believes free tertiary education just isn't feasible.
At a time when it is clear that difficult times lie ahead until we see how what is going on in Britain plays out, and that is going to take a little time, and until we see how United States settles down, and that is going to take a little time, we cannot sit down here in Barbados and pretend that we can make decisions without any reference to what is going on there. But that is what we hear coming from the Barbados Labour Party.
Well, industrial action rocked the Transport Board this morning, leaving thousands of commuters stranded. Rianne Phillips reports.
Terminals across the island were virtual ghost towns as buses remain parked as the drivers and other staff members strike. Their grievances include poor working conditions, poorly functioning buses, the handing of lucrative routes to private operators, and the outstanding appointments. Dozens of workers assembled outside the Weymouth Depot, where they met with Deputy General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Dwayne Paul, just after 9 this morning.
We have a delegation who has been on seat now for months and have not had the courtesy of meeting properly with management up to a piece of meeting that took place probably on Friday. It was, Mr. President? On Friday, and have been in place for months. The last meeting between the board, between the management and the secretariat took place sometime in January. We understand that the board and the minister have not met now for what, almost a few months, since August. So there's a number of things happening here that are impeding the process towards resolving worker issues.
Mr. Paul also denies the strike action was politically motivated.
It is not proper to say that the matter is political. We are very offended by that loose statement that this matter is political. And therefore all it has done is to galvanize the workers, because you have insulted them by saying don't talking foolishness but the matter is political. We don't have any political agenda, but the problem in Barbados right now is that anything that happens between now and appointed date, everything including me coughing now, will be categorized as political. But that is unfortunate.
Many commuters resorted to PSVs while others encountered headaches going across the island. This group in the Princess Alice Terminal, which usually catches the Shuri Village bus, was pondering how to get home.
I get downtown, but can I get back home?
How did you get downtown this morning?
I got a lift for a youngster, and then I got the Garrison bus to come downtown. But now I'm on my way back home.
I had to catch a van from St. Thomas, go Redmond Village, catch a ZR, come through Wanstead and come down the road and get to town. But now I can't get back home at all.
And then a bus I could get home with, and I didn't leave on bus fare. Good luck, I had to pay a bill, so I got to take up money over that to get home, to pay bus. So it really affected me to the fullest.
The board's marketing and communications manager, Linda Holder, says apart from the passenger services, the school bus service was among the hardest hit.
The school service has been totally disrupted. There is, as I had said earlier, a couple buses for the disabled community that we were able to get on the road, and those are not specific to schools. Those will be, if you have someone who's in the call ride system, then you would have called for service this morning, but those are not on the road any longer. They're coming back and forth. And for the regular school network, we've not been able to put anything on the road.
The workers are hoping their issues can be resolved in the shortest possible time. It is uncertain how long the action will continue. Brianne Phillips, CBC News.
Rianne, thanks. And joining us live now via phone is Transport Minister Michael Lashley. Minister Lashley, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Now, Minister, you've heard the issues. They've talked about poor working conditions, poorly functioning buses and others. What is your immediate reaction?
Well, let me say that first, I want to respond to the issues raised by the union, but I want to say up front that we're willing to meet with the unions. Basically, as you know, we have to respect the workers' rights. I don't have an issue in meeting with the union, and of course, management meeting with the union. So I believe that they should meet with the unions, because of course we have the traveling public to service, and of course the vulnerable groups, persons who have to depend on public transport. Of course, the elderly, the disabled community, the children, of course. So I don't have an issue at all in meeting with them and really trashing these issues out and pointing the way forward. So I want to say that up front, and indeed, once the workers, they have an issue, they must be heard. Secondly, I heard Mr. Paul said earlier today that the transport board fleet is at an advanced stage in terms of age. That is true. And indeed, that is a source of concern for us. And we have started the process for the purchase of buses that has been initiated. And of course, I had informed the union at a meeting in January, and that came about as a result of the taxi project. That project basically was designed to help service the traveling public and to provide transport services to the public.
Minister
it was in no way an avenue to privatize the transport board. So I want to assure the workers that their jobs are secured. There is no way or no contemplation of privatization of the transport board.
Well, Minister, you said you're willing to meet with the union, but the big question is what plan is being put in place for tomorrow? You have school children to get to school, you have people to get to work, so what's going to happen? Well,
we're working with the PSVs. I know that the Transport Authority and, of course, the operations managers, they have been in touch with the PSV, so we're trying to put systems in place for tomorrow. We hope that we can have that meeting as early as possible and get these issues trashed out and get the workers back out to work. But indeed, I know that they have been working in terms of asking the private sector to be involved. Let me say, Lisa, that the private sector was always functioned alongside the transport board for years. So this issue about routes being given to private sector is an issue that has been on for years. Okay? If we have to meet and discuss it, we'll meet and discuss it. But we are in no way seeking to impact on the terms and conditions of employment of the workers at Transport Board.
Has the union reached out to you for that meeting that you said you're willing to have with them?
My understanding is that they reached out to the management, but it was sometime in the evening. I've reached out to the union myself, of course, to have a discussion with them, but they have Parliament tomorrow, but they will see how, in fact, my representative will be there. I believe the management will meet with them. But I just want to assure the workers that there is security in their job contract. So we're willing to meet, discuss these matters, get these matters out of the way. The issue of the buses need repairs. What has happened over time is that only last week or 2 weeks ago, management said to me, you know, Minister, there are some buses that never give trouble that are now giving trouble. So, and it's because of the age. buses weren't bought and purchased in Barbados, no, I think since 2005 or thereabouts. And then we have buses from 1999 and 1995 and thereabouts. So there will always be challenges. So we have to meet with the unions, discuss the issues, come to a position, and then look at the way forward for the Transport Board.
Minister Lashley, thank you very much. That was Transport Minister Michael Lashley responding to today's strike action by workers at the Transport Board. We'll take a break here, but there's more news coming up.
It's your favorite time of year again when everyone is cleaning and fixing and painting. So, are you holiday ready? Harris Paints is celebrating 45 years of color. Get 45% off all Perma products, 30% off all Ultima Plus, and many more. Plus, for every $50 you spend, you get a chance to win a grand prize of $10,000 cash. You can also win one of 45 prizes of Farmer's Choice hams, gas and grocery vouchers, and Harris gift cards. Get holiday ready with Harris Paints, the Caribbean champions of color.
Hey there! Yes, you! Yes, Flow customers, you've topped up, signed up, paid your bill on time and in full. Now you can win over $250,000 in cash and prizes. It's time to play!
Let's go Party Flow!
You can win smart TVs, cell phones, cash, and more weekly. Visit www.discoverflow.co or see price for details. Cable and wireless terms and conditions apply.
It started with my love for making things. That became a business. And when I wanted to expand, I chose a partner that could help me build on my vision. A partner that made growing my business easier with fewer steps. That's banking that starts with me.
It starts with you. Scotiabank.
Help support the restoration efforts for the hundreds of thousands affected by catastrophic hurricanes. Donate to the Red Cross Hurricane Relief account at any branch of the following: CIBC First Caribbean, account number 10011633436. First Citizens, 500-900-00588. RBC Royal Bank, 210-05073. And Republic Bank, 01804-153-1001. Monies raised will be sent to the International Red Cross for its restoration work for affected persons. Appeal closes 30th November 2017. Persons wishing to post checks should make these out to Red Cross Hurricane Relief Appeal account and post to Barbados Red Cross Society, P.O. Box 300 Bridgetown, or hand deliver to the Red Cross Warrens headquarters. The Barbados Red Cross and commercial banks, on behalf of the victims of catastrophic hurricanes, thank all persons and businesses for their contributions.
November 25th. Tickets available at CBC The Pine, Superstyle Shoe Shops at Sky Mall and Bridgetown.
One day after the body of Police Constable Wallace Greenwich was found floating in the water in the area of the Animal Flower Cave, CBC travelled to his home as well as that of missing man Kenmore Mears to find out how family members are coping at this very trying time. Shane Jones reports.
When we arrived at the home of former lawman 38-year-old Wallace Greenwich, the mood was somber. A few friends gathered at the Four Hill Indian Ground St. Peter residence to console his wife, 30-year-old Siobhan Greenwich, understandably shaken. She expressed to me how deep in disbelief she was, sharing her concern also for their 3-year-old son as well as her late husband's older daughter. Her father was also part of her support staff, and he told our team that he had no comment at that time. Greenwich's friend, Kenmore Mears, who disappeared with him off the Sea Rocks in St. Lucie, is still missing. When we visited his Church Gap home in Hillaby, St. Thomas, no one was there, but a next-door neighbor who spoke to us off camera is still hoping for the best while expecting the worst.
He's so much of a cool guy. He's a really nice child, a great neighbor. You can call him at the midnight hour. He would say, Marsh, I come in. If he at work, he can say, you know, if I come at 12, I can call. So, you know, I try like to put it on my mind or something, but is there, you got to deal with it. But he's a pleasant person.
When the incident occurred, he was fishing. Can you talk about him in terms of fishing and his love for it?
Yeah, that's all he know. Up to his birth night, I said to him, Ken, why you don't go in the bed and lie down with your wife? Man, he said, Marish, you know you're going to do my thing. I said, Ken, more be careful and get back. Well, he got back then. And he accustomed coming back. But I know he ain't come back Saturday morning. That is a pain in my heart. A real pain. And I don't want to talk too much because then you'll make me cry. But I want to say that Kenmore will always be Kenmore for me. You know, looking over by the house and so on last night, it was so dreadful to me. It looked, I can't explain it, Shane, but I still thinking he's going to come home.
Mears and Greenwich went missing sometime between last Friday and Sunday while fishing near the Animal Flower Cave. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Thanks, Shane. What was supposed to be a game of cricket for a group of under-19 cricketers turned tragic yesterday at the beach near Speightstown in St. Peter. Kareem Smith explains.
The life of a promising young cricketer of the Alexandra School was cut short. According to team members, the young men arrived at the nearby Coleridge and Parry School expecting to compete against them. However, the match was called off, giving the young men free rein to hit the shores off Port Ferdinand, not far from the school. It's a decision that would cost 16-year-old Savio Ferguson his life. When CBC got on the scene, a number of Alexandra students were huddled together just a short distance from the lifeless body and being consoled by relatives and counseled by police. One of the team members, accompanied by his father, told us what happened.
We was standing out in water.
What happened?
Tell you that we're going on. It said 30 more minutes. Then two fellas come reading and tell me, my Savio no drunk, I know what happened. He was fighting in water and thing, and fellas had put a little in water and thing.
Two of you were close?
We were good friends, man.
His father says teammates have not been taking the news very well, but police were trying to keep the situation under control.
They've spoken to the parents, the children already. So what they will do now is wait till the other parents come to collect their kids. Yeah.
Who is everybody else taking?
Everybody is very distraught.
According to friends, the young man, a St. George resident, will be dearly missed. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
And 3 St. Lucie residents escaped serious injury when they were involved in an accident along Allendale in the same parish just before 4 o'clock yesterday evening. It's the quick work of civilians that resulted in the trapped passengers being rescued. Again, Kareem Smith was on that scene.
While passing along the stretch Sunday afternoon with cameraman Anderson Arthur, we arrived on the scene just as the driver and 2 passengers of an overturned pickup were being rescued. After efforts by civilians, 64-year-old Erlene Hade of Bentham, St. Lucie, and 53-year-old Alan Cornelius Gill of Pleasant Hall Plantation House were lifted out of the vehicles. The most elderly woman, 80-year-old Wida Gill, who was trapped at the bottom of the vehicle, was rescued moments later. She was visibly shaken. It was while driving along Allendale Road that the pickup collided with a white Suzuki Grand Vitara. Police have identified the driver of the Grand Vitara as 54-year-old Bentley Barnett of Cave Hill Drive, St. Lucie. An ambulance arrived within minutes of the accident as it had been responding to a drowning at Port Ferdinand. On the scene, all 3 of the passengers in the pickup complained of pain to the neck. First responders acted quickly, placing Mr. Gill onto a stretcher and into the ambulances as they waited for others to respond. Police later revealed that all 3 passengers in the Isuzu were transported to hospital for treatment. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
Kareem, thanks for both of those reports. Now, Andre Omar Jackman, alias Lord Evil, has again been granted bail after appearing in the High Court today. This also follows a court appearance last Friday before acting magistrate Ulrich Scott. The 38-year-old of Shroud Bay, Crab Hill in St. Lucie is accused of breaching one of his bail conditions on October 28th. Jackman was granted $175,000 bail on May 10th when he appeared in court in connection with the murder of Charlie Doom. His attorney, Arthur Holder, told Mr. Justice Scott his client had complied with all bail conditions since May 10th. Jackman will return to court tomorrow. Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. Stay with us.
I would like to get my father a bike and my mother a bed. I would like a Samsung TV for my mommy. I want to get my mommy a tablet. I would like to get my dad a barbecue because he likes to cook fish.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. From humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
This is your lucky day. All you need to do is play 9 times Lucky, the new scratch game from the Barbados Lottery, with 49 chances to win on each ticket. You could win the top prize of $109,000.
Indulge your every craving at this year's Barbados Food and Rum Festival, November 16th to 19th. Thursday, the festival kicks off at Oyston's. Friday, the Barbados Concord Experience, 8 chefs, 6 mixologists and the energetic Spice & Company. Saturday, taste the spirits of polo featuring Chef Jason Howard. This would not be Barbados without a beach party. Sunday, enjoy an impressive lineup of Barbadian entertainers at the Hilton for Feet in the Sand. And the weekend would not be complete without the Gourmet Safari Dinner Series at the Cliff, the Crane and the Tides. Remember, November 16th to 19th. Get your tickets at TicketPal box offices today.
The head of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, Ronald Jackson, is concerned that the issues underlying climate change are not being addressed. It's long been said that the severity and intensity of the systems passing through the region in recent times have been influenced by climate change. And Mr. Jackson says as the region looks toward building resilience, these types of factors need to be considered.
What is important and the underlying issue for me is not so much about getting overly excited about climate change. It is the fact that we're not dealing with the underlying drivers of risk. We're not dealing with the underlying drivers of risk. Poverty, land use, land management, tenure. Those are the things that are not being touched. Every time we recover and we rebuild, the same issues, the same underlying issues are there. So we're talking about climate change, but the focus on climate change in the region is on energy, the opportunities that energy provides. Not necessarily a bad thing.
The Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago is warning customers to be wary of people posing as bank employees in a bid to acquire information regarding their personal bank accounts. In a statement, the association said it had become aware of text messages being sent to people requesting their confidential banking and personal information. The scammers were reportedly asking customers to update their banking details by filling out a particular form and returning it to an email address, purportedly that of the bank. The bankers are also urging people not to open attachments or click on suspicious links from reputable institutions or unknown senders who are asking for personal or financial information. Well, here's a tip now from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Transferring the risk of loss to an insurance company is one of the most effective risk management techniques. Insurance companies undertake that risk on behalf of policyholders at a minimum cost as compared to the value at risk. Cooperators General Insurance, ensuring you are protected during this hurricane season.